Hey there YouTube! A while ago I said I was only gonna do reading wrap-ups like once every season because I didn't think I was reading enough, but I think I'm reading enough now that I can dedicate a whole video to a monthly reading wrap-up, so that's what you're getting today. These are all the books that I read in the month of September. The first book that I read in September is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This is the first book in the Remnant Chronicles, and I really liked this book. So this book is about a princess who runs away to escape an arranged marriage. So she runs away with her friend, her lady-in-waiting or something like that. She runs away with her friend and they go to a small town and she meets two men there, one of which is the prince she was supposed to marry, and the other is an assassin sent to kill her. And she doesn't know which is which, and the reader doesn't know which is which. So this book was really, really interesting. It kept me reading because I wanted to find out which one of these guys was the prince and which one was gonna kill her, or was supposed to kill her. I think that kind of intrigue really kept me reading in this book, and I just needed to know so badly. And one of the really great things about this is that the person who was the prince isn't the person that I thought was gonna be the prince. I noticed that like the qualities or the appearance that I thought might be the prince was not the prince, and what I thought was the assassin wouldn't be the assassin. So it was really good at kind of hiding the fact of who was who. And I'm gonna say I'm really happy with who she picked in this. There's also some sort of like magical mystery type thing in this that kind of goes in more in the second book. You find out more about this. But I really, really loved The Kiss of Deception, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm kind of sick of like love triangles, but I read them anyway because they're just so good. So that's kind of why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5. The next book I read is The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, and this is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles. I got this book in the same book outlet order that I got the first one, and I didn't realize that they were book 1 and 2 in a series. It took me a few days to kind of put the order together, and I just lost track of what I was getting, but I'm really glad that I got the second book along with the first one because I just needed to start right away. So this book pretty much picks up where the first book ends. At the end of the first book you find out who is who, but this book kind of like throws everything on its head. I felt like the things I was happy with at the end of the first book I was starting to not like, but I also liked them. It was very... I felt like the main character where she was doubting herself and kind of getting to know this other character. It was just so good and it just kept me reading. Another thing that this book kind of deals with is kind of the concept that history is written by the victors, so you find out that one of the kingdoms in this world isn't exactly what she has been led to believe it is. And some of the history of her world, what she's learned, might not actually be the truth. So that kind of concept is actually really, really interesting. So I love this book, I love this series, I want to read the third one, so I gave The Heart of Betrayal 4 out of 5 stars. Next I read some manga. I read Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, volumes 1 through 3, the omnibus version. And I just want to say, where were these when I was reading manga all the time in high school? Like, I have spent hundreds of dollars on manga, and like this was $20. Like back in high school when I was buying manga all the time, manga was like $8 to $10 to $15, so it was this is so much cheaper. You get 3 volumes for 20 bucks. It's so great. I love it. Rants aside, Tsubasa is a series written by Clamp. They wrote things like Chobits, Angelic Layer, Magic Knight Rare, Cardcaptor Sakura. So I love them. They write a lot of really great stories that I love. And Tsubasa I started reading in high school, but I never really got that far, and I want to read the rest of it or just like start over. I think I only really read the first volume of this in high school. So Tsubasa is really interesting. It is a Clamp multiverse series, so they have characters and worlds from all of their series that they've written. This story follows Sakura and Shaoran, who are originally characters from Cardcaptor Sakura, but they are like alternate universe versions of Sakura and Shaoran. So Sakura is the princess of the kingdom of Clow, and Shaoran is her childhood friend who is an archaeologist in this kingdom. So things happen and Sakura ends up losing her memories. And so Shaoran is sent to the dimensional witch Yuko along with 2 other characters, Kurogane and 5D Flowrite, and they have to travel around these different universes and find Sakura's memories. So I really like the concept of multiverses and alternate dimensions. I don't really understand it, but I still really like it, so this really gets to explore it. And like, my favorite type of fanfic is alternate universe fanfic, and so this is just like one giant canon fanfic AU. It's amazing. It also stars Sakura and Shaoran, who are like my OTP of OTPs in anime, and you kind of get to see different versions of them, and it's amazing, and I love it, and I want to read more. So I gave Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles numbers 1 through 3 5 out of 5 stars. The last book that I read is The Young Elite by Marie Lu. I've wanted to read this for so long, like since it came out. The cover was just like really interesting to me at first, and then I read the synopsis and I really wanted to read it, so I finally picked it up and I love this so much. So this is about a girl named Adelina. She lives in a world where a blood fever has kind of killed and made a lot of people sick, and a lot of the children that have survived this blood fever have been marked, so they have like different color hair or just kind of some sort of strange attribute about them. And some of these people, they have like magical powers, and Adelina, the main character of this book, is one of those people. So eventually she meets up with this group of these people like her who have magic powers called the Daggers, and they kind of try to overthrow this government that hates them and people like them. And it's really, really interesting. There's a twist at the end of this book that made me so upset, but I really, really loved it, and I'm really excited because this author is actually coming to my town this week, and I'm gonna go listen to her speak and probably get some books signed. I really like this book because it really kind of explores like darkness within people. A lot of the times it feels like main characters are always set out to like do good and they're like inherently good, but Adelina is sort of like, she has a darkness inside of her, and it really kind of embraces that and explores the darkness inside of people, and I thought that was like really, really interesting. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Those are all the books that I read in the month of September. Currently, I am reading The Rose Society by Marie Lu, which is the second book in the Young Elite series, and I really want to finish this by the end of the week, or at least by Thursday when I go see Marie Lu talk. I'm not that far in it at all, but I haven't been reading a lot this past week, but I really want to finish this up so I can read the third one, which comes out like this week. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you think about them, or just let me know what you're reading right now. I always like to hear book suggestions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you want to see more book and nerdy videos from me. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Christy Lou. Till next time, matane!